All right, so Copilot for Sales, we're going to have a look at the mechanics of how that works and also show what you can do to extend it, because Copilot for Sales actually is one of the biggest extensions of Copilot for Microsoft 365, and then it can work with your Salesforce and Dynamics 365. It's an awesome experience. I'm here with Bharath. I'm Jeremy. Now we're going to talk about what you can do first with Copilot for Sales. What's the default experience look like when you've got Copilot for Sales?
Let's take a look. Copilot for Sales enriches the email summaries in Outlook to add CRM context and give visibility over the account and opportunity details relevant to this email. If there is new information in the emails, Copilot suggests you to update your CRM so that that information is not lost. And to get back to your customer, Copilot comes up with really nice polished responses based on the data in the email as well as the data in CRM. And most conversations don't end in emails. They go to meetings. And to prepare for meetings, Copilot helps you by preparing a meeting brief by simply choosing which meeting that you need to go to. Copilot will automatically pulling all relevant information for the meeting from Microsoft 365, as well as from your CRM, such as the summary of the opportunity, any related records, and much more. And it also made sure to highlight the most recent conversations that happened over email and in past meetings so that you can talk to it. And it's not just about preparing for the meeting. Even when you, after the meeting, you could use the Teams recap and have it enriched with generative AI capabilities from Microsoft 365 Copilot. Copilot for Sales adds additional sales context to it and made sure that the follow-up tasks that were discussed during the meeting can be captured in CRM so that they are not lost. It also captures the summary of what was talked about, key open questions, and many more conversational KPIs so that your sales team can learn from this meeting and be more effective in subsequent meetings.
Right, so that's kind of the experience, the default experience in terms of Copilot for Sales. But now I want to go into kind of how it works. Because all these different Copilots, they're using a process called retrieval augmented generation. So that's using, in our case, the Microsoft Graph to get information from Microsoft 365, things like SharePoint, your calendar, email, Teams, but also then adding your CRM system, which can be Salesforce or Dynamics 365. Then my favorite part, because I love automation, is skills that are doing multi-step type processes where you might have to do things like build summarization of different sales meetings, proposal generation, and that's actually going through multiple different tasks as part of orchestration to be able to present all of that contextual information to the large language model to then assemble effectively the proposal itself. And with that assembled proposal, you can basically look at it, and these are things that are going to save you a ton of time in terms of basically writing something that's maybe 70, 80, 90% of the way there, adding additional information and context to it, maybe images to it, other proofing. But once it's gone through that process, you've got a very good start to your proposal in this case. So why don't we go then, because there's a lot of developers that are watching, why don't we go into what you can do in terms of extending this even further with your own, say, line of business information or data?
Of course. So to extend Copilot for Sales with custom insights from your application, you can use Copilot Studio. Let's look at it with an example. I go to Copilot Studio, pick Copilot for Sales to extend, and I choose to create an extension. This gives me a list of Power Platform connectors that I can use to extend Copilot for Sales. I pick the connector for my application and then add a name and description for the extension that I'm building. Note that these descriptions are crucial. This is what tells the Copilot for Sales how to use this extension, when to use it, how to invoke it, and how to interpret the insights that I get back. So make sure these descriptions accurately define what the extension does. Once I've added the descriptions, I can go and select the different APIs from the connector which are relevant for Copilot for Sales. In this example, I'm picking one which is going to enrich the email summaries in Outlook from Copilot. And for each of the APIs that I pick, I can add the descriptions again for the API as a whole, for the input for the APIs and the outputs. Again, note that these descriptions are the crux of the extension, and make sure you add them accurately to define what these APIs are about.
I like to think these descriptions are probably more read by the AI than a lot of humans probably would in these cases to be able to know what exactly to do. So once that's done, what's the next step?
So once you have the APIs in, you can sort of go in and add additional optional parameters, like, for example, choosing conversational starters. These are useful if you're using the Copilot chat and bring in new skills and add the suggested prompts for the end users. In the interest of time, I'm going to skip through these and jump right to testing the extension that we just built. When you use the test action in Copilot Studio, it takes you to the Copilot chat experience so that you can use a few test prompts and start testing the extension that you just built. And after you're done with your testing, you can come back to publish the plugin make sure that you add the right icons for your plugins so that users can relate what the insights that they see to the application that's bringing these insights. And once I'm published, these extensions are available for the Copilot admin to enable for end users. You can also publish these plugins for additional Copilots like the Copilot for Microsoft 365 if they are applicable.
Okay, so now we've built our entire, basically our connection to our line of business app, our Contoso Customer Intelligence, and it's important to remember Contoso Customer Intelligence because that's going to show up. We want to show the user experience now. So why don't we walk through like what we've just added here with that Contoso Customer Intelligence?
Sure. So you'll notice that the Contoso Customer Intelligence extension now brings additional insights about who in my sales team can help me with this customer and make this deal possible. The custom extension also adds additional insights to the Copilot site pane as well, and brings insights about what are the strategic priorities for the account that I'm working with for this deal. And I can relate all the information that comes on the Copilot site pane to the product that I'm trying to sell for this customer. And given that this is an existing customer, I can also use the Copilot chat experience in Outlook to interact with the custom extension. I can query it to get more information about the past agreements I have with this customer, and make sure that if there are any promotional deals that I can bring to the customer based on their past agreements, I can use it when I get back to the customer. With all this context information available from the custom extension, I can confidently get back to the customer, build a better rapport with them by recalling all the past engagements, and invite them over for a call. And
right.
Sorry.
And yeah, you can see everything here in the middle of the email here with 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗀 and Ray and Daniela and all the customer intelligence on the right-hand side, and you can chat with it directly. And this even goes further back to the Word example like we saw before, and I can even use my extended data from my line of business app.
Yeah, and when you prepare the meeting prep document using the Copilot in Word, in addition to the insights that Copilot for Sales already brings out of bots, the custom extension is going to bring additional insights based on the interactions that it is tracking. So for example, in this case, the custom extension is bringing insights to tell me that in past conversations, the customer was also considering some competitor products and is undecided on whether to go with my products or ones from the competitors. And using this information, I can be better prepared for the meeting with my customer and make sure I have the right content prepared to talk about these competitor products and why my product is better than theirs.
Right, so there's one more experience we got to show, which is the Teams experience, super helpful.
Yeah, and once I'm done with the call with my customer, the custom extension kicks in again. It nudges me and makes sure I'm suggested to share additional information about the topics that I discussed during the call to make sure I can make this deal quickly and win this deal.
Right, so all of this information that you're bringing in from your line of business app in this case, or you could use other apps to customize that Copilot for Sales experience. If you want to build something like this or just see how it was built in terms of extending other Copilot experiences, check out Copilot for Sales updates. It's on the web right now in terms of all the blogs from the team. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you, Bharath. And there's a lot more to come at Build. See you later.